Welcome back to an episode of the Nicocast. I'm here with Sebastian Ghiorghiu. He makes videos about finance and business. So, tell us about yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sebastian Ghiorghiu, as Nico just said. And yes, I do make YouTube videos about finance. So I'm 23 years old and, I went out of focus. I'm 23 years old. I started a business when I was 17. I started in dropshipping and e-commerce, and then I got into building brands, and then I got into YouTube as well, and then I got into crypto and real estate now and all sorts of other stuff. So it's been about a 5-year journey since I started when I was 17, a couple years older than you. So it's been it's pretty wild ride so far.
So yeah, let's start from the beginning. How did you start dropshipping? How was it like? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was with dropshipping. I started because I was caregiving at the time, actually, and I wanted to get into real estate, and I was getting my license. But real estate agents only make money when they sell homes. So I was gonna have to find a way to make money in the meantime. So I looked up on the internet how to make money, and I found on YouTube, I found videos that explain and break down dropshipping. And I tried dropshipping. My first store didn't go very well. My second store was just like a immediate success, basically. For the most part, like the first 2 months were just immediately successful, and I made like $30,000 to $40,000. And then I started another store, and it did about double the revenue of the first one. And then I started another one, and the stores just got bigger and bigger as I became more experienced. But over time, over a few years, like about 2 years. And then I started my biggest store, which at one point was doing about $10,000 a day in revenue. And then that was like my biggest store. And then, so that's how I got in.
How did you learn to keep growing the stores? How did your second store do so well? How did you continue to scale it?
Well, the first store I started was with Instagram influencers. So it was like I would reach out to pages and they would push my stuff. The second store was with Facebook ads. So I was learning a new platform, and I was able with Facebook ads, there's so many more people on Facebook that are browsing on the feed. So I was able, once I kind of learned how to run ads, I was able to get my ad in front of more people, and it was more automated. It was easier to scale and to make more money that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I grew. And then and how I went from that store to the bigger stores was I just learned more about Facebook. And as I spent more time, new videos, I would watch more videos, learn through courses, learn through personal experience, and I would just take that information and I would keep going with it.
Yeah, the best way to learn is to keep doing it. If you keep doing it for a certain amount of time, you'll always get at least 1% better.
I agree with that completely.
So you did a video, but to quickly summarize it, you turned $300 to $100,000 in 19. How did you do that?
Yeah, so just to summarize it, it was basically the beginning of when I introduced myself, the first half of it. So I started with dropshipping, and I was working, this was before I had anything. So when I was in high school, I didn't even have $1,000 in my account. I had $300 or whatever. I was working at Taco Bell. And fast forward, I saved up all the checks from Taco Bell, and then I bought a car, and I started flipping cars. I flipped a lot of cars, and I worked my way up to about $5,000 to $8,000 in my bank account flipping cars and stuff. And then I worked at a car wash, working off tips, and working in auto glass, working in sales and doing that. And I had a job that was paying higher than Taco Bell. So I had saved up, I don't remember the exact number from the video, but probably about $15,000 to something then after that. And then that's when I got into dropshipping. And fast forward a year or two, I was dropshipping, then I started YouTube, then I started making money off ad revenue and affiliates and stuff. And then I eventually dropped my course, and that's the course was what pushed me from about 70,000 to over 100,000 in my bank account when I was 19. I remember that.
How did you start flipping cars? Because it's kind of weird. How did you find the cars? How did you sell it to people? How? Tell us about that.
So I flipped cars because, I started with a go-kart. So I started with go-karts, and I would find a very, very bad go-kart. And here's how I got the idea. I wanted to buy a go-kart myself, and I went on OfferUp, and I saw a go-kart that was in very bad condition going for $75. And I saw pretty much the exact same go-kart. It was just basically the same engine, the same horsepower, but the go-kart was really new and really clean, going for $500, $600. And I was like, that's a huge difference. It's if I can get a bad go-kart that's running and it's working well, and clean it and spray paint it and refurnish it, I could sell it for the higher price. And so I did. So I bought the bad one, and I cleaned it up and I fixed it up, and I sold it for the higher price. And I sold go-karts, and then I bought stuff from auctions, like furniture and stuff, and I would sell stuff that I bought from auctions online, clean them up, make it look good, and sell them for more. and then I had enough money to start doing with cars. So like I would look for a really, really good deal based on mileages, year and stuff, and it didn't look really good, bad pictures or whatever. And then I would buy the car based on like other cars going for a similar price in the market, and I would clean them up and do it really well, and then I would sell the car. I didn't make a lot of profit. I didn't make a whole lot of profit selling these cars. Sometimes I would make profit and sometimes I would like break even on it after I drove it for like a year. So, driving a free car. But yeah, that's pretty much how I did it.
Like, were you selling the cars on like eBay, Craigslist, or to like people you knew, or how were you getting like the customers for like the cars and like the furniture?
Yeah, I would sell the furniture and the go-karts on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace, and the cars I would list on Craigslist and OfferUp as well, and Facebook Marketplace as well. So yeah, just random strangers in Arizona. Yeah.
Do you recommend like flipping cars and stuff like that? Like, does anyone want to start making money, or do you think it's a bad idea?
No, I think it's a great idea because I think it teaches you the perceived value of things, and I think it teaches you how to sell. And selling is very important if you want to get into business, and if you want to get into finance, you need to learn how to sell. So I think it's a great way to do it, and it's more hands-on. So I think it's a great place for people to start because you're buying an asset and then you can kind of play with it a little bit and fix it yourself. And I think there's a lot to learn, but I think it is a very, very fair and genuine place to start if you're wanting to make money. A lot of people start like that. They start with little things, then they move to cars, and they move to whatever, and then people start flipping flip businesses even. So it's like, it's a very good skill to know how to flip something. It's a very good skill.
Yeah, there's like unlimited things you can flip. Like, it's unlimited things.
100%. Yeah, you can basically,
Let's get back to the topic of drop shipping. Why do you think you succeeded, and why do you think some other people didn't succeed? Because I tried it once and I literally made the website, and after that I like stopped doing it. So what do you think separated you from the rest and made you?
Well, you said you made a website. Why did you stop?
I don't know. It's like I was watching a YouTube video and I made like a website for like poppets, and
then did you ever try running ads for it or anything?
No, I didn't. I just did that and never went back to it. Can see if I
that's why you didn't succeed. Well, the reason you didn't succeed is because you didn't do anything. You gave up at that point, and that's the reason everybody else does as well. So I think the reason I did was a little bit of luck, finding a good product and finding a good page to promote that product, and then doing it and getting success fast enough so that I would have the taste of it, so that I would keep going, so that I would know it's out there. Because a lot of people, they try it and they don't get success fast enough, and then they don't believe it's true. And those are you're a scammer comment that you see on the YouTube videos. That's like, this doesn't work, this is saturated. That's those types of people. So I, luckily enough, was able to get a few sales fast enough to know that it was real, and that's why I kept going. So a little bit of luck and a little bit of just keep going. And I would keep going and it would keep working, and then I would do failure, and then it would work, and then failure, and then it would work. But the difference is I would just keep going and I wouldn't stop. I think that's the only difference, is that people would just find a certain time to give up and to quit.
Yeah, it's like if you keep on doing it, you will succeed at one point, basically.
Yeah, there was a kid that I talked to 4 years ago, and he didn't know what dropshipping was. I introduced it to him, and last year in 1 week he made 700,000 dropshipping, and he had plenty of failures, but he kept on going. And also, he's younger than me. He's 22 or 21 right now, so he's even younger than me. But the difference between him and everybody else was not that dropshipping is dead. It's that he just kept on going. Even though sometimes he would fail, he would just keep on going.
Yeah. Talking about like dropshipping is dead. Do you think it's dead, or do you think it still works?
I think it's more alive than ever before. Because if you think about it, dropshipping works because of consumerism, and because people like products, and because they like to spend money. And that's only getting worse, especially in America. People want to spend money and they want more products, and they want to buy things that they don't need, and it gets worse every year. So as long as there's a platform for people to be shown these products, like for example TikTok dropshipping is popular right now, and a lot of people are doing it, and it's a very, very, very good strategy to make money. So yeah, it's just as alive as it ever was. It's just different, and it's always going to be changing.
Yeah, like there's like so many people like that I see selling these like balls that you shoot into the sky, they come back to you, like, and they're doing so well, and like people just like buy the dumbest things just like buy it. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's fine, and it could be dumb, but it could be fun. It could be worth whatever. For them, it could be worth $30. For you don't care about it. There's so many people on this planet, and there's so many interesting different kinds of humans, and There's products that everyone is going to have a natural affinity or a greater affinity to based on their life. So dropshipping will always be around.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Before we get off topic of TikTok ads, because I have a couple questions, do you think when making TikTok ads, it's better to like create an account and grow from there, or to actually like get the ads? Because I've seen a lot of both.
So I've never done a TikTok dropshipping store. I have never done one myself. So that's the first thing I want to say. The only thing, the reason I know about it is because my friends are doing it really, really well right now. So for example, my friend Sebastian Ghiorghiu, he's doing it, who I recently had a video with, and me and him created a free course regarding TikTok dropshipping. And you can do it both ways. Both ways work. So I think that if you have no money and a lot of time, you should do it the organic way. And I think if you have a lot of money and less time, you should do it the paid way and the organic way, to be honest. And you could run both of them at the same time, and that would be best. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. So you have a marketing agency when you focus on Google Ads. Why did you pick specifically Google Ads and not Facebook ads like you mentioned you did before with dropshipping?
Right, because a lot more that goes into Facebook ads that I don't have control of. So I like Google Ads because it's just strategy, right? So with Facebook ads, something that has a very heavy weight in the success and performance of your ad is your creative, the actual advertisement itself, the brand identity, the brand itself, the customer service, the feedback, the fulfillment. All of those things are very, very heavily weighted with Facebook. And if you do them very poorly, Facebook is going to perform very poorly. So I don't have control over, for example, if this company comes to me and they say, I want to run Facebook ads with you, I would need a very, very, very good ad in order to run very profitable and very good Facebook ads. But they're in charge of making the ad, not me. So it makes my job a lot harder. But for Google ads, if this company says, I want you to run Google ads, all I have to do is do the keywords and do the bidding strategies and do all of that complicated stuff that they don't know how to do that doesn't involve creatives. And I can do that. And the smarter I am with that strategy, the better the Google ads will perform. So it's in my control. And that's why I wanted to do Google ads. They're a lot more consistent than Facebook ads. So that's why I wanted to do it. That's the first reason. And the second reason was because nobody was doing Google ads. Nobody was doing it. They were all doing Facebook ads. So I figured I could be where everyone would come to, basically.
Yeah, because you hear a lot about like Facebook ads and stuff like that. So yeah, if there was an opportunity and you took it.
Exactly.
While we're on the topic of your agency, tell us about your agency. How did it start? Whole story.
So I started it when I was running. I had my biggest brand. I was telling you about the one that was doing 10K a day. I was running Google ads for that myself, and I saw how profitable they were. And I thought I should be running this for everybody. And so I started doing it for all my friends. And then I came up with an idea to turn it into a service and to market it. So once I started doing it for all my friends, I started hiring some people. And after about 2 tries, my 3rd try, I found someone that was really good. They came in, they worked with me, and they took charge of all the accounts. And after that, I just went on, I started marketing the agency and started getting more clients, and they were in charge of all the ads. And because I was more focused on growing and they were more focused on fulfillment, we were able to grow it really fast. So that's pretty much it. I started it during COVID. So it was just like 2020, around that area, that mid 2020. And then it's grown since then. Yeah,
like COVID, like so many people made so many things. Like it was when I started my podcast, and like so people were like in their rooms basically doing nothing. A lot of ideas came to people's minds and tons of cool things.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to think about it. But it's a good way to think about it. When people are stuck inside, they are like going and saying they don't know what to think about and they need to do something. So they did. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Whenever like I'm in a place and like doing nothing, that's when I'm like most creative, instead of when I'm like have a busy schedule doing tons of things.
Exactly.
How do you get your clients for your agency? Because like it's not hard getting clients and like sticking with them and like making them trust you. Like how did you like build that connection with your clients, and how did you get the clients?
Most of the clients came from just because they know who I am. So I would get clients from word of mouth, clients that we've already had, and the word just spread in the space. So like, for example, if somebody needed Google ads, they would mention it in conversation, and that person would be like, oh, I watched this kid, Sebastian, he has a Google ads agency, hit him up. and then this guy would hit me up. Or on Twitter, I would post like valuable threads on Twitter about Google and PPC. They would get a lot of likes, and then people would DM me and ask, to hit me up for Google ads. So there was that. And then we also did like LinkedIn, like we would go on LinkedIn and reach out to people. We would do like cold emails, reach out to people. We try to improve our Google listings so we could rank higher, and we could get more discoverability like that way. But a lot of clients came from just like my reputation, I guess, because it was pretty big in the e-commerce.
With the cold emailing thing you said, like that can take you like to so many places and can get you like so far. Like cold emailing is amazing. Like it's a really good skill to have.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I know someone on Twitter that does crazy numbers with cold emails. He's insane.
Yeah, cold emails have gotten like most of my podcast guests. Yeah, it's amazing.
There you go. So you understand it. That's the reason we're here right now.
Yeah. And after like I've like been doing this podcast for 2 years, and I've like found new ways to structure emails, like subjects and everything. So yeah, it's also like when you're emailing, like cold emailing, everything is important.
I would completely agree. And your subject was very good because you have a strength that you're playing, which is your age. And so it's hard to say no, because if somebody that's like younger is trying to succeed, it's hard to not want to help them. So you understand that that's a strength of yours and you're playing it, which is very smart.
I used to like say like only podcast invite, and since I've put in like podcast invite from a 13-year-old or world's youngest podcaster invite, that like helped a lot.
Yeah.
So you've done both marketing agency and drop shipping. In your opinion, which is better, and which would you recommend to someone who's starting and or someone who's already been doing it for a long time?
I would say, okay, you could go two ways. You could go, if you're beginning, you could get a skill, and you can get paid for that skill, for a certain skill you have, and you could turn that into an agency down the line. That's one route. Or if you're a beginner and you have no money, you could try drop shipping with the TikTok organic route, where it doesn't cost any money, and you can just keep trying that until that eventually works, and then go to paid ads. Either one of those is fine. Either one's fine. I think it's just up to your preference. The dropshipping method is going to be more scalable in the beginning, because if you figure it out quick, you can get it in front of a lot of people and you can make a lot of money. But the agency might be more consistent. So pros and cons.
Yeah, I feel like, finding the pros and cons of like everything you're doing is very important.
100%. Yeah. You need to look at all of your options and try to weigh something. And the most important thing is, once you do have like all the options weighed out, to pick one and stick with it. Don't do drop shipping for a month and then go try agency. Stick with something for 6 months or even a year or even longer, but stick with something, because the longer you stick with it, the more you're going to learn about the industry and the less mistakes you're going to make, and the greater chances of success. So you should stick with it.
The more you do something, the more opportunities you have for success.
Exactly. Correct. I would agree.
Yeah. What are some other side hustles you think are good to start now?
Well, there's always weird side hustles that you could do. But if you're trying to do stuff online, let me think.
Like online businesses, like start right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would strongly suggest people just try dropshipping with TikTok. I would just say that. I mean, I have a video talking about 44 business ideas you can start during the recession. And there's all sorts of stuff in there, like flipping things and Amazon and affiliate marketing and all sorts of stuff. But I think the most practical one is either a service-based agency around a skill that you have and you provide to clients, or drop shipping. I would say you should start there. Honestly, you should start there. And then as you level up in the business world, you can start getting into more complicated businesses like softwares and etc.
Right now, there's like unlimited opportunities. Like any age can do it.
I would say so. Yes, it's relatively easy to get into, although I wouldn't suggest people that are too young to get into it. But if you're in high school, or just getting out of high school, I think it's a good time.
I've like edited videos like for people and stuff like that, and I've earned good money from that. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. My video editor is basically working 24/7 for my YouTube channel and the agency channel and other stuff as well. And he's earning a full-time income from it. So it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Like if you have a skill, there's like always a way to monetize it in any way.
Exactly, yes. And depending on how valuable the skill is, you can get paid more for it.
Exactly. So in the beginning, you mentioned real estate. How did you get into real estate? And
So I flipped my first house when I was 21, 22. I bought a little townhome and I just renovated it. Very similar to the go-kart. It was very ugly. People don't want it. and I made it very pretty, and more people wanted it. Therefore, the demand increases and I can make money. So I did that. And then I took all that money, all the profit, and I was still making money at the time online. I took all of that and I put it into a piece of land and into permits and development plans for the house that I'm currently building now. So I'm on my second real estate project of my life. This one's much bigger than the first one, but
congrats.
That's pretty much how I got into it. Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I've seen like tons of TikToks of like people like buy the ugly house and renovate instead of buying the good house and resell it instantly.
Exactly. If you're willing to put in the work, you can save a lot of money.
Yeah. So let's talk about your YouTube channel. Why did you decide to start making YouTube videos?
I started making videos because I was dropshipping and I found success in it. And I was like in live streams and in the comment section, I was telling people that these videos were really helping me and they were working and I made a lot of money with them. And people would like to comment. And then I remember the reason I decided to start a YouTube channel was because I was in a live stream and I said, yo, I did this and I made $700. Should I make a video about how I did it? And people started spamming yes. Just the whole chat was yes, make a video. So next week I had a video live. And I went back to the comment to that YouTuber that was doing the live stream and I commented on all of his videos and I'd be like, yo, I posted a video about this, come check it out. And my channel just grew. That's how I started.
It's like, if you have a community about the thing, it's like, or maybe like someone else's community, it's like, if you just need related to that, people are going to watch it. I don't know if that makes sense. But.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just trying to help people because I was teaching them. At first, I was basically just like, I found a little bit of success and I was like, here's what I did, you know, copy me, or like, here's what you can do. Because I was young, I was a kid and I was making money. So I was like, this is crazy. Like other people can make a lot of money too. So that's why I started.
Yeah. How do you balance like your agency, real estate, and your channel? Like, how do you find time to do like those three things?
I'm always constantly stressed out. Does that answer your question?
I know.
I don't find time to do it. I'm always doing it. I always am doing it. I'm never not working. I'm never not stressed out. It's always full go mode. I'm probably gonna start getting gray hairs.
That's kind of like the annoying thing of like doing so many things at once, but the payoff is good. I can imagine.
Exactly, yeah, and it's fun. It's fun. I don't have any school to worry about. I don't have a job to worry about. So if I didn't have all these things going on, I'd be bored. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. Even though you're stressed, you at least have something to do, so you're not bored.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your video ideas?
Ooh, so this has been an interesting one lately. I've been putting more time into it, but I come up with my video ideas based on what I think I would have liked to see back in the day if I was looking for motivation, looking for inspiration, or looking for value. So back in the day, if I was on a grind and I was having trouble with productivity, I would look up videos on how to stay super productive. And that's why I made that last video. And so I don't know, I try to make videos that I think are very valuable based on what I would have liked to see back in the day, me, myself. And that's what I try to base my content around. Yeah,
those videos are always like the ones that do best because there's always at least a group of people that were in the same position you were. So
100%. Yeah, absolutely. And it's very broad for me because I'm coming from the position that I wanted to make a lot of money, but I also wanted to be like a good man. Like I wanted to be a real man. I wanted to be in good shape. I wanted to stay productive, etc.
Yeah. This is like more of a question I want to know. What is your favorite type of video to make? Like the ones where you're with someone explaining how they make a lot of money. Like, what's your favorite type of video you like to make?
I like to interview people and I like to talk to people and learn about them. I think that's fun for me. The videos that are easy for me to make are the ones where I'm telling a story. So like the 1K to 8 million. That video was one take nonstop. It took me like 15 minutes to film it. It was just nonstop going because it was just like a story. So that's like easy and it's fun because it's just like I'm telling my story. But the ones that I genuinely enjoy the most, I think would be the interviews because it's cool to talk to people and get like perspectives. But then again, also I have the videos that are like more study based where I like am providing value on something based on evidence. And those are really nice. And I enjoy making those too because they're very valuable and I know people are going to like them. So I like all of the videos that I make, to be honest. I really do. And then sometimes I have like rant style videos where I'm like, get rich now, otherwise you're going to be poor forever. And I'm just kind of like explaining my political beliefs or like my thoughts or like whatever. And those are fun, easy. Those are usually pretty easy to make because I'm just like talking out of my brain. But I enjoy all of them. I would say interviews are probably the most fun, but I enjoy all of them.
Yeah. For me, I also like love making interviews. It's like there's like something about it, like talking to like random people on the internet, like and like asking them about like what they do and stuff like that. It's like so cool to me.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have to understand that there's a lot of people in the world, and everybody lives a different life than you, and they have different experiences than you, and all of those experiences shape their mentality and how they think and see life. And so when you speak to somebody and you understand that, you realize everything that they're saying, they're speaking from, all of these experiences that they've compiled and their opinions and etc. So it's interesting. Every person is like a box of mystery that when you speak to them, they open up and they tell you and you can learn. Yeah. So it's very interesting.
And I've like found out so many like interesting things about my favorite YouTubers that I wouldn't know before, thanks to like just talking to them. And yeah, it's amazing. And I like still talk to some of the people I interview now. And like, yeah, it's like really cool to like going from watching someone to like kind of being their friend in a way.
Yeah, I guess that would be really cool. Yeah, to be inspired by someone and then to like kind of be cool with them.
So those are most of my questions. When the last question I always ask is, do you have any advice for anyone that wants to start doing YouTube videos and like start their own agency, drop shipping? I know we've kind of been talking about it this whole time, but like your main advice.
Do it. Why are you waiting?
Exactly.
Why are you waiting to start? Just start. It's going to be a long journey. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to give up. But if you have a very good reason for starting, you should always remember that reason. And whenever you feel like giving up, you should just remember why you started, and you should not stop. Because if you want to, at the end of the day, bro, it's like there are people out there, there are kids that are 18, 19, 20 that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on the internet, and they're buying whatever car they want. They're traveling to any country they want. They're retiring their parents, whatever it is, whatever you want to do that involves money. There are kids out there younger than you doing it at a massive scale. If you want that, then you have to do it. So there's not much advice really to even be given. Like, it's like, okay, go do it. In terms of how to start a YouTube channel, that's very specific advice. And that's something that you should just go and look up. You should just go figure it out. I'm not going to tell you how to start a YouTube channel here. I'm going to tell you that you should go figure it out and go look it up, because you can't be spoon-fed everything. You know what I mean? You have to kind of like figure things out on your own. And yeah, so if you want to do something, just go do it. I don't know why you're waiting. Like, you're 13 years old or 14 almost, and you have a podcast and a somewhat successful podcast so far, and you're going to blow up. And like you weren't sitting around asking people all day, like, how do I start a podcast? Like, you started one and now it's working.
I literally started like blindly. Like, I didn't look up any videos at all. I just like asked my brother, made questions, and like asked questions. And then after like my first 3 podcasts was when I actually like looked into it and stuff like that.
People will sit around and try to find the perfect way to do something without ever trying it. So imagine if babies could talk, right? And a baby doesn't know how to walk yet because it's a baby. And the baby comes up to you and he sees you walking and he's like, how do I walk? What do I do? And then you explain to him, like, how do you feel about walking? Like, it's so easy. You've been doing it forever. Like, the baby's like, how do I walk? Well, what would you tell him? Like, well, you just stand. Yeah, you stand and you walk on your legs. And the baby's like, can you explain to me how you're doing it? And it's like, you kind of just have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to try it.
Yeah, there isn't a way to like explain how you walk. It's like you learn it while you do it, which is like most things you do. Like YouTube, you learn while you do it and stuff like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So there's a common misconception that somebody that is doing something somewhat successfully knows everything and they have it all locked down. They have the secret sauce, but no, we're always constantly learning as we go. Every single person. So yeah.
Even the most popular YouTubers like Mr. Beast,
even experts
and stuff like that. Yeah, experts.
Even experts.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This really means a lot. Is there anything you want to promote?
No, you guys can come follow me on my YouTube channel, Sebastian Ghiorghiu. Other than that, just go check out my channel and hopefully it's helpful.
All socials will be down in the description. Definitely go follow him. He makes amazing videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode of the Nicocast.